Hey guys, it's Veronica. Welcome again back to my channel. Okay, so this video is basically just a beginner's guide on how to contour and highlight. I'm just going to show the basics, and I'm going to show you guys a few palettes that I really like, that are really beginner friendly, and just honestly really help all those people who are just getting into makeup and want a little bit more help on how to contour and highlight. So basically that's what we're going to do today. So yeah, let's just get started. Okay, hi. So I did move you guys in a little bit closer. I hope you guys can see me and aren't too taken away by how close we are. So when you're barely getting into the contouring game, I would suggest that you start out with contouring in powder form, because there are two forms of contour. There is a cream contour and a powder contour. Cream contour I would recommend for people who know what they're doing and just basically know how to contour, and for people who don't really know exactly everything about it, I would recommend you start with powder contours. I have two palettes here that I really like to use. So these two palettes I have been using for a few weeks now. I have really been liking them. These two palettes are honestly really good, and I really like them. They've been working on me, and I honestly don't have anything bad to say about them. I really like them. First contour palette is this one right here. It's called Sculpt, and it's by It Cosmetics. It is super awesome for beginners, and this is actually one of the first contour palettes that I got, just because it looked easy, and it is just, the color scheme on here is just really awesome. It's got 4 contour shades just right here and 2 highlights. It obviously comes in different colors. It's got a soft contour, light contour, medium contour, and a deep contour. And then these 2 highlights right here, one of them is a matte highlight and one of them is a radiant highlight. Another really good, awesome thing about this palette, about this one in particular, one of the reasons I like it, because if you open it, it has a little mirror right here, and as well on here it has a woman, and it basically just shows her face and how she contours, which is really awesome and really helpful. So, I mean, you can't necessarily go wrong with that, you know? Focus on me. Okay, and in the back, it actually has this. It has like a little pocket right in here, and in that pocket is actually this little booklet, and it's it honestly just shows you like tips and tricks how to contour your face, your forehead, your chin, your neck, your eyebrows, cheekbones, nose, your lips, and honestly it basically shows you how to contour your whole body. You're basically knows how to contour your chest, your abs, your arms, your legs, your butt. Just like this contour palette is so versatile because you basically contour your whole body, and this booklet shows you like honestly how to do it. So super awesome. I absolutely love it. I think this is super awesome for beginners. Another palette that I really bought, I actually just bought this a few weeks ago. I have tried it out and I honestly really do like it. I've been hearing so many good things about this palette, which kind of made me want to buy it, so that's kind of why I bought it. But I would recommend this palette to people who, I'm not saying you guys know everything about contour, like no, not at all, but once you kind of get the hang of it and you kind of know the basics, I would recommend you getting this palette. So this is the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. It just kind of looks like that. It's got super awesome like detail and just honestly super awesome. I absolutely love it. I like this, I like the little design she has on here. It's just really awesome. I'm pretty sure you guys have heard of this palette. It's been like basically all over the internet since it came out, and honestly no one has said anything bad about this palette. It just kind of looks like that. It's got 3 contour shades at the I'm holding it upside down, but it's got 3 contour shades just right here, and on the bottom it's kind of, these aren't necessarily highlights, but these can honestly be used under the eye to set your concealer, and They're honestly really awesome 2-set concealer. That's kind of why she put them in this palette. And I honestly really like this middle one. It's kind of like a yellowy banana shade. And it's just like a super awesome like powder 2-set highlight with. I know both of the contour palettes that I have are high end. I haven't tried any other contour palette in the drugstore, but I have heard really good things about the NYX contour palette. I personally have not tried it. I have not bought it, so I can't say if it's worked for me, but I've heard so many people say good things about it, and they say from what I've seen it's got such a range of shades that almost anyone can use that palette to find their perfect shade. I have heard people say that it is a really good drugstore palette, so if you guys want to try it out, go ahead and try that one out. So now we basically did talk about contour palettes. Now we're going to be talking about highlight. So if you do contour, you need to highlight, because highlighting and contour go hand in hand, and it's just that accentuates your face even more. If you just contour and you don't highlight, that's just, it doesn't look good. So that's why contouring and highlight always go together. I do have, actually sorry, I only have one highlight palette. Again, it is high end, I'm sorry, but honestly this palette is like so worth the splurge and so worth the money. You will not be disappointed in this palette. So it is the Anastasia Glow Kit in Sun Kissed. It is relatively new, obviously not super new, and if you open it, it's got four shades just like that. They are honestly super awesome, super pigmented. Anastasia does super awesome highlights. All of her highlights are super awesome, super pigmented, and super like in your face. One of the things I like about the Sculpt palette is the fact that it's got two highlights in the palette. It's got a matte highlight and it's got a shimmer highlight. So the Sculpt palette is very versatile because it has contour shades, but it also has highlights. So, you know, just 2-in-1 right there. I haven't really tried any highlights from the drugstore. I don't know, I've just, since I do have this Anastasia one, I do tend to lean more toward using that one. I will be trying new drugstore highlights, but for now, right now, I'm just gonna stay with my Anastasia one. I actually have two brushes that I really like to use to contour. They are, I want to say they're honestly, they're affordable brushes. I'm not going to be using the most expensive brush here, but yeah, it's a little dirty. I'm sorry. I've never used it a lot. I'm so sorry. But yeah, this one right here is by Real Techniques. Kind of just looks like that. It's got like even top and it's very thick, and it's honestly just very packed and it's very thick, and I absolutely love it to contour with. Yeah, any angled brush will honestly really help just to get in your face. So I'm just gonna use the Real Techniques one to contour with. The contour shade that I honestly really like to contour with is the very light one right here, the very beginning one right there. It's just very cool toned. When I contour, I don't like that like in your face contour where everyone knows that you contoured and all that stuff, you know. I like a very natural soft contour. So with this shade right here, so yeah, with this shade right here, it is just super natural and I just like it. I feel like throughout this video I say contour like so many times. I know this is a video about contouring, but like every other sentence I say is contour, 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 contour. It's like, shut up already. So I'm just gonna take the brush and I'm just gonna tap it in there. So when I do contour, I like to stay more up in this area. I don't like to drag it down all the way down to my mouth. I like to keep it up here near my hairline. So what I'm gonna actually do, I'm just gonna tilt my brush, not keep it straight, not keep it straight like this, but I'm actually gonna like tilt it down a little bit. So let's go ahead, I'm gonna tilt it down. I'm actually gonna press it into my face first, and then once I have it pressed into my face, that's when I'm gonna just go into my face. So I'm just going ahead and do the other cheek. Now that we have our cheekbones contoured, I'm actually gonna contour my temples as well. So I'm just gonna go up to my temple here and just kind of shade that in a little bit. And whatever I have left on that brush, I'm just gonna take that up to my forehead. And then of course, go ahead and just do that on the same side. And honestly, just doing this gives your face just like depth, and it just gives your face just like some good shape and definition. If you want to take it one step further, you can actually contour your jawline to make it more smaller. Just make it, give you that like nice cut jawline that like we all wish to have, but sometimes we don't. So when you are contouring, a really good tip to keep in mind is drawing a 3 on your face. I'm pretty sure you have heard of that. It's just doing a 3 on your face, and that kind of helps us know where to contour. So when you draw a 3, you always start from up here on your forehead, you drag it down underneath your cheekbone, and then you go ahead, go on the side of your face, and you end up underneath. That is like the magic 3 on your face. So basically, yeah, that is kind of how you contour your face. Contour your face. There are other parts of your face that you can contour, but I obviously won't be showing that because this is obviously just a beginner's guide on how to contour your face. Contouring everything else is just another added step, and we're not going to do that today. So now that we are all contoured up, last step to do is highlight. So of course, I'm just going to use the Glow Kit from Anastasia. The brush, there are a lot of brushes out there specifically for highlighting, but I don't necessarily have any one of those right now. So I'm just going to use an angled brush that kind of just looks like that. What I like to do is I like to use the very top part to highlight, and honestly see that it works just as well as a regular brush that you use specifically for highlighting. So just a little tip there. I'm going to use Moonstone, which is this bottom color right here. If you do have oily skin and textured skin, I would recommend you keep your highlight up here at the very top of your cheekbone and not drag it all the way down into under your eyes, because of the fact that you do have textured skin. Highlight, what it does, it accentuates that texture. So I'm just going to keep it right up here on top of my cheekbone. Another place that I would like to highlight is just on the bridge of my nose. Maybe a little bit on my chin sometimes. And on my cupid's bow. I would recommend you highlight before you put on lipstick, but I do that, so I do that. When highlighting, just if you want to highlight all throughout your face, just kind of keep it on the high points of your face where light is gonna show directly on your face. So the high points of your face, including cheekbones, nose, lips, chin, forehead, bridge of your nose. If you honestly really like, you can put some highlight right underneath your brow bone. It just gives you even more of a pop, which isn't, there's nothing wrong with that. If you like that, do it. So yeah, that is basically just the beginner's guide on how to contour and highlight. Obviously there's more to highlighting. I just talked about the beginning tips and tricks. So yeah, hope you guys did like this video.